So I think we're live. Let's try to see what's going on. All looks like it's fine, but so we've got channel level settings. So with this, oh, here we go. That looks like share screen. So my website, I've called it game.cam. What I'm going to do over time, I'm going to do the analytics. Now, I've been working on some quant information. And I mean, the most interesting thing is the foreign exchange. So on the smaller size, just load it up. So what you find is that you've got effectively the I'm going to fix all this stuff in later releases. So it's 7, 30, 60, 90 days. I mean, I put the labeling on both sides so you know where you are. But let's look at the 7 days, shall we? So we've got all of these currencies against the dollar. And I think we show the dollar to represent itself. I might add gold and silver, see how well they all rank. So you've got Ghana, South Korea, Japan, Swedish krona, which seems to be on a massive pull, Romania, Czechoslovakia, I mean Russia with the ruble. I mean, it must be trading amongst its BRICS friends, Albania. And then you've got the euros sort of doing all right. I mean, the Thai baht's doing pretty well. And sterling. So if you look at the other spectrum, because I've managed to get quite a lot of currencies on there, I think they're an exhaustive list. You can tell me if they're not. So you've got sort of Seychelles aren't doing very well. Somalia, you've got the Guyanese, which is a different location. Venezuela, which in a long time hasn't been that great. I mean, Qatari, not doing so well. Zambian, Peruvian. So if you want a holiday, it's probably something to think about. I mean, it's not always the currency in your favor, but if you're going to Venezuela and you've got, in 90 days, the currency depreciates by that much, who knows what it's going to do in a year. So if you can go there and have your dollars and then have the relevant conversion. So let's take a little bit of a tour, shall we? To allow them to get more information. So, I mean, effectively, it's going to be a textual, graphical, and summary. So I'm going to get some economics in here. Try and get the standard ones. Try to get the ones that are mainly the Americans and probably Europe, because that drives the country, the world effectively. But that's how things knit together. I have been working on some sort of indexes, but what I have found is that you've got the StockTwits, which is a very nice community, gives you a rundown. So effectively, It tells you the ticker. It tells you where it was in the previous week. Gives you the runners and the riders, and it gives you sort of the potential year-to-date return. I mean, the whole principle is that you can take this as information, not trading advice. The ones that are doing well are the ones to buy. Ones that aren't doing well are the ones to get rid of. So over time, I aim to give some sort of, I mean, I should have a commodities leaderboard. Yes. So, I mean, this is from some time ago, the 20th. And what we are seeing is that shipping is on a tear. Sort of the palladium, platinum, heating oil, wheat. I put things like wind and clean water and alternatives like data centers, uranium. I mean, uranium today has been on a rip massively. So, tankers dealing with shipping, overall metals and mining. I mean, you're obviously, your gold and the gold shares. Solar with wind. I mean, I see there's going to be a lot more hydrogen. I mean, silver as your industrial as well as your value. Silver is a bit like gold, but on steroids. Either way, unfortunately, you've got your lithium, more of your dry bulk. That shows how sort of your main sort of raw materials are moving around the world. You've got your rare earths, which are coming into the foray more and more, and you've got your natural gas. So I'm aiming to start this off as information only. I want to have a subscription or a pay for idea. I mean, all this is information only. I like to share other people's newsletters. If you have any, let me know. So also I want to do the same thing with shares, really share categories. So you have a leaderboard of all of, electric vehicles or a particular group which is cutting edge. Obviously, a lot of Fred, which is the Fed. You've got financial psychology, which is probably something that needs to be taught more because I think you have to do a lot of paper trading. And a lot of the time when you get super nervous, maybe a month, a week or a day, a lot of the losses have actually come back. Now, I'm trying to showcase the ETF companies because a lot of them have great ideas and different ideas. I want to focus on individual companies as well, which probably, I mean, this one here, Moonfair, is the latest one. They do private equity. If there's a particular ETF I'd like to showcase that's done well or poorly, a bit of a relaxed den so you can chill out a bit to some music. The bond side, it's more of the sort of using these as indicators. I'm probably going to, when this all settles down, go through my indicator list about the health of the market, etc. I think options are pretty good to actually be aware of, but probably not trade so much because this can give you a very good indicator of the health of the market and the direction of the market. I mean, dividend is sort of great. You can have accumulation shares, but if you sock that dividend and invest it in something else, I think from history of investing, you probably over time get more money. And then I'm going to add things like REITs, MLPs, BDCs, and a probably ever expanding list of things. So if you find this interesting at the moment, if you could actually donate via PayPal, but over time, what I'm going to be doing is trying to get more and more of these reports out there in the morning, trying to do at least a couple every morning, at least before the market opens. And then over time, what I do is to get different companies to sponsor this site, as well as individuals to take out a fairly cheap subscription to actually get all of this information. Because I think it's one thing seeing the winners and the losers, but to see them in context and to see them in context over time. Because oh the other thing I want to do is specifically for the Standard and Poor, the effectively the rotation. So the rotation in and out of particular sectors, because you can have the buy and hold for just the whole Standard and Poor index. I mean, it is probably good that it is reasonably top heavy in technology, but when technology isn't doing so well, that can be fairly traumatic and can sway the relevant index. It's a shame that they don't have sort of Standard and Poor minus technology so that you can actually flip between that. But if you can identify the relevant sectors and probably add a few more on, which is probably the oil and gold and a few others. What you can do is you can flip in and out. So if you think, oh, this is really terrible, you can go into some sort of safe haven, maybe go into the gold and you go into the staples and utilities. And then when you see the relevant movement, which I'm going to model, you can rotate out of those and into other ones. And if you're showing that, I mean, maybe I need to change some of them because, 7 all the way up to 30, 60, 90. The whole principle is to have a potential weekly rotation, or to actually have a monthly rotation, with the whole principle of having the information to say, okay, this particular sector looks like it's turned from positive to negative, and then you have a potential increasing recommendation until end of the month you rotate. And it's the same with the other version. The whole idea is probably not to have all of the relevant sectors. It's probably worth having probably half or less. So that's my early foray into this. I hope to see you again. And if you could comment on what sort of information you want me to summarize, so that I can then have a particular model which I can take forward. And I'm expecting to do this as part of utilizing the information for my nest egg, as well as making sure that I have those relevant radars to actually say, here's something of interest to invest in, and here's something to back away with. One of the main things I'm going to look at next time, uh, in doing a particular write up of a particular technology, is deep sea mining. There's been a lot of coverage of this, but I believe we've almost ripped all of the resources from the land above water. It's now to do the same for the below water. So have a good weekend. If you could be so kind of to share this particular video, and also I need to go back, and it's effectively called gain.cam. So it's GAIN.cam, and I should be updating this over the next few hours, minutes, months, days, and years. So I'll see you on the next one, and hopefully that'll be a little bit more professional. Okay, then. Thank you, and have a great weekend.